On the Fringe with Dan radio style. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. This whole drone thing is an issue. It's confusing. It's weird. It seems like they're maybe trying to spin this into a direction and or they're hiding behind it, but it could be both, right? This could be the good guys actually looking for problems and then the bad guys taking advantage of it. I don't know. We're going to talk a little bit about it. Again, just more crazy with this. I am very much... be on your guard, guys. This is, one, probably not what's being shared with us, for sure. And two, probably not what's being speculated. Most of the time, people speculating in directions that are been totally wrong, by the way. Think about how many different times Brunson was supposed to happen. Seriously, for any of you guys that are following some of the crazier stuff out there, how many times so far to date has Brunson it's gonna happen? Brunson's gonna, right? 2024 is not over yet. No, dude, sorry. No offense. Not trying to rip on the guy, but how many times you been wrong? A lot. So what's going on with this? It's not what people are saying. Something's going on. We got some stuff. I don't know. I'm going to help you guys. Well, I'm not going to help you. We're going to give some information. Hopefully you guys can make a good guess as to what the hell's happening. I think we should be on the lookout, though. They might very well be wanting to use Blue Beam. Maybe there's some of that happening right now. There's a couple examples of it. I think something way more sinister is sort of at work, and I don't think they want to tell us what it is, which to me, that biological nuclear threat makes a lot of sense. Again, we'll talk about that, too. A lot to consider. Anyways, all said, let's get into it. We got some fun stuff to start with. I like to do that. You guys know that. First off, mindset. I want all you guys to remember this. Teacher of teachers. This is the most important thing you take away from this video today is this right here. Mindset. Especially for some of my friends. I got some people out there that are starting this new meditation thing on Nana's Little Corner. We've talked about her before. But again, I know they're going to be like, nobody's watching. Yeah, that's how it starts. It's totally cool. Nobody watched my shit when I first started either. In fact, I'd watch it a bunch just so it had views. Yeah, when I first started, my first channel, and then I started to build an audience. It took time, took effort. But it was a mindset game. Never accept anything less than what you can imagine. It was a great author that I have huge respect for, Neil Donald Walsh. Imagine yourself to be the best version of the highest vision you've ever held about yourself. Like the best way that you've ever been able to see yourself, be the best version of that. And I hope you can, and I hope I can. But that is everything. So never see exactly who you are, but see who you're capable of being, who you're becoming, who you should be. Mindset. It's everything. It's the difference between winners and losers, truly. Funny, someone did a great job taking an old cartoon for us. The graphics kind of suck on it, but whatever. Took a great cartoon and make fun of Adam Schiff in a very awesome way. And I think it's interesting that it's Adam Schiff specifically, because I do think he might be one of the key people that will be publicly arrested. Nancy Pelosi, I wonder about, but I actually think she might have health problems beforehand. I don't think Schiff's going to have that leniency. When life was simpler. God, some of those cartoons were great back in the day. They had some really messed up extra messages in there, but nonetheless, funny as hell. Here is an incredible story And frankly, when it gets back to mindset, don't look at obstacles in the way. Ask for help, figure out a way to do it with the given obstacles, and you'll be amazed what you can come to. And here's a perfect example.
An old Italian gentleman lived alone in New Jersey. He wanted to plant his annual tomato garden, but it was very difficult work as the ground was hard. His only son, Vincent, who used to help him, was in prison. The old man wrote a letter to his son, described his predicament. Dear Vincent, I'm feeling pretty sad because it looks like I won't be able to plant my tomato garden this year. I'm just getting too old to be digging up a garden plot. I know if you were here, my troubles would be over. I know you'd be happy to dig the plot for me, like in the old days. Love, Papa. A few days later, he received a letter from his son. Dear Papa, don't dig up that garden. That's where the bodies are buried. Love, Vinny. At 4 a.m. the next morning, FBI agents, local police arrived. They dug up the entire area without finding any bodies. They apologized to the old man and left. That same day, the old man received another letter from his son. Dear Papa, go ahead and plant the tomatoes now. That's the best I could do under the circumstances. Love you, Vinny.
Oh my God.
Never give up. Never surrender. And again, we're not behind the gun right now, but I think it's important to realize we're far from done with this ultimate goal or ultimate craziness that we're actually on right now. President Trump and VP JD Vance was at the 125th Army versus Navy game. I kind of have been like, hey, who cares? But then it was the 125th. That's actually pretty significant. So Vance went. Penny was there. Again, we don't need to listen to everybody being excited about seeing them. I think that's probably, assumed. Dan Scavino Jr. posted this. There's Daniel Penny with Trump and J.D. Vance, so that's pretty groovy. He also had an opportunity to sit down, apparently, with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Charles Q. Brown Jr., at the Army-Navy game. Seems to have a smile on his face. That's strange. Obviously, they can hear each other, because if you were outside of this protected room, yeah, it most likely wouldn't be that easy to hear, but needless to say, pretty cool. Kash Patel managed to get himself down there as well. A lot of great places, and it will be an honor to serve you again, 47. Kash Patel posted. Good stuff. Whoops, that's not what we wanted. That's not what we want either. We'll get there. Fetterman. Again, actions matter to me right now. I think there's a lot of us that are, bell curve, mostly in the center. I think we've got our versions of people that are kind of extreme right and extreme left. I would call them extreme, whatever. There's variance to that as well. Fetterman is somebody that is oddly shaped, sure, but he is kind of breaking the rules. And the Democrats are punishing him for it right now. And I think it's interesting how here's an individual, albeit he seems white. I don't know for sure, but that's problematic. 2, he's male for sure. That's definitely problematic. And 3, he's actually kind of bipartisan. He's actually like, no, I agree. There's some problems we've got. Israel's a good country. There's right, like let's make this country great again. I'm up for that. Just because Trump's saying it doesn't mean it's a bad idea. Well, again, Democrats shunning, pushing him aside. This is the way it's happening right now, right? And it does, I don't want to always talk about myself. I hate it, by the way. I do it a lot just because I feel like I have to give some clarity or quality to who I am for you guys, so you understand, right? Most of you guys don't get the privilege of or chance to hang out in my life. It may not be a privilege. There's some people I could definitely bring up that'd be like, I don't think Dan's such a great guy. But the problem is that we have right now, and I was talking to a good friend of mine this morning, and he actually had some great advice for me, which was funny. It was advice that I'd already given myself, but I thought of him, so that's why I brought up the conversation. So it's a funny little full circle. And it's the family thing that's going on for me. I don't know how you all feel about what's happening in your worlds, but I think a lot of us, at least so I see and hear, have members of our family that think poorly of us, definitely don't like talking to us, especially right now because Trump won. That's sort of the thing that they're kind of pushing on their side of the fence is, well, just don't talk to him, or if you're a woman, don't have sex, or don't have, right? Like just a lot of crazy stuff is going to shave your head. Like, I don't know. I'm still wondering if my mom did it, by the way. She canceled Thanksgiving because she supposedly had some heart issues, but then immediately traveled on an airplane. So I don't know. I hope she's okay, of course. And then I hit my dad up recently and asked, like, hey, what's up with Christmas? We're going to hang out at sister's house like normal. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that this year. And I'm like, well, bummer. At least I know. Thanks for telling me in advance. So, no Christmas. It's interesting. And my friend said, he's like, well, not everybody's got a family that's worth keeping. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean, you know, if you ask somebody that's been an abusive, like dad used to abuse them, even sexually or whatever, or worse, right? Like, and you ask them and you say, well, all family, you got to stay together. It's family. Family's the most important thing ever. And you're somebody that comes from like a weird version of family. Well, you don't share that, right? So again, the point of all this is every one of us holds these hard-found values and rules that maybe apply to our specific lives, but not everybody. Yet we give advice and guidance based off of this ideology that's worked well for ourselves. And I just think it's a good idea sometimes to consider that there's different strokes for different folks. And that's why I think there's differences in opinion. I think that's why there's many of us that are different from the walks of life we come through. It's beautiful. And I think it's actually profound how we are reaching the masses and how diverse we are. But it's also funny how regiment a lot of us can be too. So again, it's fine if you are. It just narrows your focus, your beam, if you will. But if that's, God's going to use you just as beautifully as he uses any of us. But if you can broaden your beam, if you can open your mind, if you can maybe say to yourself, I bet a lot of the things that I think are a specific way, that I'm very, very specific about, are probably things that I need to open my mind up and say, hey, is there more to know, more to understand? Is there depth and clarity to this that I maybe haven't exposed myself to yet? To use kind of a fun term. Duke Lacrosse accuser has admitted publicly that she made up the whole story. This whole accusing thing. This one lady ruined a bunch of dudes' lives because of what she made up. Back in 2006, falsely accused 3 Duke University lacrosse players of raping her. A case that made national headlines, stirred tensions about race, class, and privilege of college athletes. She admitted publicly for the first time that she fabricated the story. Just think about that. This is somebody that, for whatever reason, wanted attention, wanted to hurt these 3 guys, just made an accusation. A lot of accusations are happening these days, too. Again, every single one of us could be accused of any number of things. And I'm not saying Diddy's clean, but at the same time, Diddy's been accused of a lot of stuff. And we should see what happens. Again, the system. Innocent until proven guilty. Does it seem like Diddy's innocent? Probably not. It's kind of like Bill Cosby, but I wonder there too. Right? Bill Cosby had how many people come out and accuse him of putting drugs in their pudding pops? So I don't know. And it's not specifically that. I'm just making that up to try to be funny. He drugged them in their drinks, I think. He didn't make special pudding pops. How cool would that be, though? Like you go to Bill Cosby's house and you're like, I want a pudding pop. So yeah, you get one. Sidney Powell. This is a beautiful piece of, it sounded to me kind of like a warning to the bad guys, but she has been vindicated. And I think she's a great lady, and she's been slimed so hard, and she's actually a very, very good person. Well, she's a very, very good lawyer and has served this country admirably. She seems to be a good person. I don't know that. I don't want to speak to that per se. I think she is. She can wear a scarf like nobody's business. But again, that chick from, remember that, who was the one in the Trump administration? I forget her name. That was part of the COVID thing. Not Fauci, but that chick. She was always wearing scarves. I don't remember her stupid name, but it's probably because I don't like her. Sidney Powell, though, she rocks the scarf.
I have a message for all our United States senators, every single one of you. We, the people of the United States, have given President Trump a very clear mandate to clean up the bloat and the corruption in our government. It is infected everywhere, and it must be done now and without any further delay. He has the support of the most diversified coalition that we have seen in this country in a long time. And the country is more united than the media would have you believe. And we are united behind President Trump's agenda to make America great again. The damage that has been done to this country in the last 4 years is inexcusable and borders on criminal. We want you to be part of cleaning it up. Remember, you work for us. We're not interested in your opinions of his appointees. We want them confirmed expeditiously. We are not interested in sound bites you might want to make for your next campaign. We want you to hold the hearings, affirm the candidates, and let's get on with the business of government that is so important to the American people. My name is Sidney Powell, and I approve this message for defending the Republic and defending the Republic PAC.
And just so you know, Sidney Powell, now everybody's got a recording of you saying, I'm Sidney Powell, I approve of this message, which all they have to do is add that to any message they make up with AI. And so, I mean, obviously you approved it. I think you posted it on your own platform. I would hope you approve of those messages. Nonetheless, this is more a message to all. She's saying what's true. She's pushing the important part, let's say. Now, I want to do this. This is good. This was Chris Rock opening up for Saturday Night Live, their 50th year. Good stuff. I like this guy. I've seen him live. He's smacked by Will Smith. I saw him with Dave Chappelle. It was an epic show. Epic show, by the way. It was definitely sort of, I felt like a fish in a different pond, but it was friggin' awesome. Had an amazing, amazing time. And I think hopefully we can all open up and sort of laugh at ourselves a little bit, but he's also laughing at the other side a little bit. And I feel like he plays the middle reasonably well, which I love seeing right now. Anyway, I hope you guys like it. Skip ahead if not. But yeah, very funny. And yeah, obviously the Menendez brothers' parents are not going to be, maybe possibly mine. I don't know. I think my dad's on it, but it's like, you know, you got to support your wife. And I understand that. And I would never ask my dad to have to choose. So whatever. Love everybody. But nonetheless, funny as hell. Funny as hell. We are going through changing times. I'll tell you that. That's saying, I think mildly, I think. One of my favorite companies helps people transition into what's considered safe during economic chaos. Normal chaos. Normal economic chaos we've been through before, and then we get through it and, you know, move on and everything's groovy and great. This, many are suspicious, might be a unique time of economic crisis. I don't know what's going to happen. That's the problem, right? A lot of talks, stock market could do X, Y, and Z. A lot of talks that currencies might continue to inflate and you'll lose value, you know, which destroys your investment, by the way, right? Because look at investments like as what will it buy you? What's the buying power of your investment, right? So a lot of people, let's just make easy numbers. If I've got $100,000 of stock, or I've got $100,000 of precious metals, which one's worth more, right? Kind of like the which weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of bricks? Right? That's always a fun question to ask people. But which one's worth more? $100,000 in stocks or $100,000 in gold and silver? And I mean at right now prices. Now, if you would have year ago prices, you'd be super stoked. But right now prices, which one's worth more? And the answer would probably be your stocks are going to continue to go up maybe to a point. I will say I got some. I have to. It's the way things worked in the business. But the guy I got, I'm up 20% for the year, but I've talked to him a lot about what I'm expecting to come. And he's like, yeah, that's a good point, good point. So anyway, I got him like this. Hopefully, you know, if something happens, like he can be out in front of it. But if not, if you don't have that, if you're in like a big giant fund, I don't know. I would worry about my 401k or my IRA. $100,000 in precious metals, the way the stocks are going, the way the spikes are going in prices, the way inflation's happening, seems to be definitely worth more because $100,000 of stocks is losing value every day while $100,000 in precious metals is actually gaining buying power. And that's what it does. It holds that buying power. As the values, as inflation continues upward, the price spikes with the precious metal as well. So now if you did have to translate back into dollars, which is not probably, or Federal Reserve notes, I should say, it's not maybe the best idea, but My opinions, of course, not Goldco. All this crazy crap I talk about, not Goldco. Goldco, legally, and I mean for every perfect reason, is here to help you transition out of their system. Tax-free, penalty-free. They're the best when it comes to customer service. They're an epic company to do that transition piece. Now, my crazy reasons, my crazy mind, that's why I think it's a good idea. It's one of the reasons why I feel like I'm helping people when I suggest you go to drslikesgold.com. It's not just, I mean, you do help the channel, by the way, unquestionably. I'm a Goldco partner, and I'm proud to be. I know I'm helping people protect their wealth. And I've also heard from people that, yeah, did do this a year ago. And I say a year ago because a year ago, April this year, really, well, actually late February, things started to spike. And that's where we're at. The spike is still going. We've seen spikes go significantly higher. And many wonder what's going on with the value of the dollar and certainly the stock market. We don't know. But what we're seeing is a spike right now in precious metals. And it's not the top yet. But we're halfway up on silver. I'll say that. And they're giving up to 10% of whatever the face value is, free silver. Up to 10%, whatever your 401k or your IRA is, free silver to you, 10%, up to 10% of the value. I don't know what would distinguish it from not being that. Also, if you've got a qualifying 401k or IRA, I'd actually fill out this thing. If you don't know how to get to this thing, just act like you're going to click off the page and this thing pops up. It's like, no, don't go away. Fill this in. You still get the plus 10%, and you get a collector coin. That's half ounce Ronald Reagan coin, 9.99999% purity. Damn near perfect, but yeah, there's always some small impurities. It's a beautiful coin. Go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Their system, I don't agree with it. Goldco, they're all about doing their thing. They don't have opinions, all right? That's not the point of what, so don't ask them. Don't be like, Dan thinks the world's coming to an end. What do you think? No. That's not what this is about. Goldco's there to help you transition through this. If you have questions about this whole financial thing that's going to happen, because it's a big deal and you should talk to people and get the information. It's a kit. The kit just means it's information. And they'll ask you if you want to talk about it, of course, yes. But it's a great way to find out, can I get out of their system quick enough, too, for that matter. Go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Get out of their system before they get out of you. Especially before crazies happening in the world right now. This was just too funny not to post. Donald Trump posted this, and I'd seen it elsewhere. I don't know if he shared it or reposted or if he was the originator even for that matter. Chris Christie, bunch of McDonald's and just drones coming in all over the place, bringing more McDonald's. Pretty funny. It looks AI for sure, which is not illegal. You know, you're not claiming you saw this. New Jersey lawmakers are calling for a limited state of emergency. Just think about that, because that's concerning. Drones are flying up. This is like martial law, right? A lot of people are like, we're going to have martial law. This is how that happens. A lot of drones flying over the country right now, most likely government-controlled, for sure. Well, let's put it this way. For sure government-controlled, because if this is a foreign country, we've got such huger problems. Seriously. And folks, never shoot at the sky, by the way. It's a stupid idea, because what goes up comes down. All said, this New Jersey lawmaker wants to actually have more emergency powers because of something that the federal government's doing. Or, better put, the military. Because the federal government can't be trusted because it's been taken over by a foreign entity, or most likely China, but the deep state. So what's really happening? And I'm still leaning in the direction that they're looking for something, or at least making sure something's not moving around. And I think they can see that, and nighttime would make sense because daytime they've probably got other ways, or they're already flying drones anyways, and we just can't see them, so it doesn't matter. Either way, there's some interesting stuff that's going to come out in this drone section that you probably won't hear elsewhere, or haven't anyways. You could, maybe.
Like the New Jersey state senator, he's been asking and demanding answers. He keeps raising it, but no one really gives him any answers. Senator, good to have you back.
Good to be with you, Neil.
Let me get the latest on what's going on in your state, because it started in your state. By far, the disproportionate number of drones have been flying in and around your state. What is the governor saying? What have you heard from the president?
We've heard very little. Let's start with the fact. First, it was questions. Then it was maybe it's comedy. And then all of a sudden it became serious. And now it's insanity. Yesterday, the new United States Senator had to go out with local police to look for drones. Now, if United States Senator Andy Kim can't get any information, I'm pretty concerned about that. So I asked for a state of emergency to ground all the drones and asked the FAA to join our state of emergency, which I've asked Governor Murphy to enact, in order to ground any drone. I've gotten silence, and we met with the state police. The state police have no information. Can you imagine? The Department of Defense must have some serious secret if we can't get any information of car-sized drones flying over our military bases.
So then you have to start asking yourself, all right, so either they're withholding information, or worse yet, this could be more worrisome, Senator, they don't know.
Well, that's really the point. So a car-sized drone comes in over the ocean, and we don't hear from the military, from the Department of Defense, what that is. Now, we would believe as citizens that anything of that size would be noticed, and we would be advised what that is. So there must be a pretty big secret, because there has been top secret briefings. And every time someone comes out of the top secret briefing, we get the same answer. Well, we need more information, but apparently it's not a threat. Now, I don't know how they're determining that. The Defense Department must be speaking to someone, because they're surely not speaking to any of the residents in New Jersey.
Yeah, the military knows exactly what the hell's going on right now. The military does. They're not discussing it with the public. Now, there's, I don't know, you imagine as well. Putting comments, thumbs up, by the way, and please subscribe, all those things. Hit that thumbs up, though. It makes a big difference. It's an easy thing to do that actually makes a big difference. They have these craft flying over us. Either they're testing technology, which is, I think, very possible, or I think they're looking for something specific. And they're not announcing it to the public for, one, reasons that it could potentially tip off who they're actually looking for, could potentially freak us out. And so they're not saying anything. Now, we know FBI, DOJ, Homeland Security, they're all deep state, at least controlled by the deep state. So anything they're asking is being rebuffed. They're saying no. This, to me, leads me to think that there's something else going on. And so I don't know. Again, I think the deep state's going to try to spin it up. I don't think they're as far along on Project Bluebeam as they want to be or need to be, or maybe even have control since Space Force took over. I feel like there's potentially some problems with that timeline. I think initially that was what they wanted to do. I think we're on a totally different timeline. I know that sounds crazy. One of these days maybe I'll try to explain that a little too, but nonetheless. New Jersey Mayor Michael Melham says the state of New Jersey gave him guidance that if a drone was downed, we're immediately to call the bomb squad, and the fire department has to show up in hazmat. This is what we're being told. So if this stuff comes down, don't get near it. Don't get pictures of it. God forbid we had a picture of this thing. But so far, haven't seen one. I've seen images from way off, lights, glowing lights. They're so pretty. Oh, it's like Christmas time. Some of them twinkle. They want us to see them. The FAA requires commercial craft or even military craft loitering in the sky to have lights on unless there's a damn good reason not to, but otherwise you're a friggin' huge risk. So put your lights on so at least craft can see you. And then in some cases, you've got to wonder if they've got no-fly zones already in place. Whatever the case is, I don't see helicopters in a lot of these images either. No helicopters flying around trying to get better images of them, right? Right? And they keep saying local law enforcement's going to look into it. What the fuck do they know? Nothing. This is a hardcore psyop. The big question is, Who's in charge? And what are they actually trying to do? Now, what I think is the good guys are in charge and the bad guys are freaking out right now. And so we're seeing the bad guys' media spewing all sorts of crazy right now. This is coming from the FBI. This is coming from the DOJ. This is coming from the Homeland Security. This is coming from local NBC affiliates and local ABC affiliates. This is coming from the deep state. Why the fudge don't we have any pictures of these things? And again, Mike Flynn, you're bumming me out right now, man. I just feel like, to a large extent, you're kind of playing down this whole it's the other country thing. There's no damn way. I'm sorry, there's not. Here's officials investigating, literally investigating a crash site, supposedly, or where one went down. Look at this area. Look at how small it is. Look at how many people are involved. And yet we still don't have a fucking picture.
Well, several agencies are involved in an investigation in Hillsborough, New Jersey, as to a possible drone landing that happened yesterday. The search is ongoing right now in an area between, or just off of Route 206 in Hillsborough, near Falcon Road, and we can see a staging area by Somerset County hazardous material units, some other county officials, as well as Hillsborough agencies as well. We also understand that the FBI is aware of the incident. Again, this is a search ongoing. It is primarily happening in a wooded area just adjacent to a shopping center, again in the area of Route 206.
A wooded area, one, very deceptive, some brush between two parking lots. They can't find the drone. Drone's missing. Missing drone. Where'd it go? Don't know. Really? Really? That just smells weird to me. I don't know. Drone crashes in Jersey homeowner's backyard as panic over mystery sightings grips state. Scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down. Oh, that's a nice, looks like a comet. Scrolling down. Oh, shit flying in the air. Scrolling down. No fucking picture! Crashed in her backyard. What? Crashed in the one person's backyard that doesn't have a freaking cell phone? Are you shitting me? Do I really need that much more fiber? Is that what's missing in my life right now? Do you crashed in her backyard? Okay. It's okay. I know. I'm going to stroke out before I even get to the end of this damn video. Larry Hogan posted eerie video footage on his X account on Friday of large drones circling above his house. Yet, no good pictures. This one, though, this is the blue beam stuff right here. This is the blue beam proof. So, again, I don't necessarily trust it because it's like the only guy showing it, and he's got this rare footage. Whatever. Here's blue beam.
Are we getting taken over?
That's a little crazy.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
That's really convincing.
Yeah, they are.
What?
They're coming this way towards Round Valley.
So they are getting closer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you guys caught the beautiful part at the end there. This part, do you see this thing floating around? Yeah, that's most likely a green laser handheld pointer. Most likely. I believe in UFOs. I believe in all that stuff. Way more. I've been following this for years. Going back well into the 90s. Well into. I saw my first military craft. I was sure of it, but my first crazy top secret craft, 90, early 90s. Prior to that, too, we saw the stealth fighter because my grandpa lived out by the Salton Sea, and he had a pond that we used to always go to. And I'll never forget the one day we saw these weird triangular craft flying across, and it was the stealth fighter before it was even acknowledged. So, again, I've seen stuff. This is... A lot of people can make money if you have a sensational video and you put it out. I mean, that's the thing to keep in mind always. No, they wouldn't fake it. Yes, they would. Lots of people would, unquestionably. Drone experts have little idea what the dozens of drone sightings over New Jersey actually are, but they have ruled out the possibility that they might be the work of a classified government program. Now, okay, just Fox News is letting us know. No, they've ruled out the fact that this is some sort of classified test your aircraft out. And if that's actually true, then that, I guess, means they're looking for nuclear weapons or biological weapons. Probably nuclear, but could be biological. We've had a lot of warnings of that as well. Whatever the case was, the government's telling us. Okay, all right. News Nation reporter says his entire view of the New Jersey drones has changed after he witnessed 50 of them flying in from the ocean. Again, crazy. We'll play some of this.
Hi, Elizabeth. Well, I got to be honest here. You know, when this story first came out a few weeks ago, as a resident of New Jersey, as a journalist, I didn't pay it much credence. I thought it would turn out to be a bunch of pranksters and this would all be over by now. The experience I had last night, however, changed the way I feel about this story completely. What I saw was more sophisticated than I ever imagined. Take a look.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 lights, 6 lights.
I didn't believe what I was seeing. But what was I seeing? We're here in central Jersey. We've been looking for the past hour. I think we've seen about 40 or 50 of these drones. In fact, there's one over my shoulder right there. One after another, these drones appeared in the night sky. If you look real close, they look like fixed-wing aircraft, about 8 to 10 feet wide, colorful, white blinking lights.
That is not a plane.
Definitely not an airplane, but what was it? Hours earlier, I was invited to join the Ocean County Sheriff Department. They launched their own drones to see if they could intercept the mysterious aircraft New Jersey residents have been reporting in recent weeks. The department says these mystery drones evade detection because they don't give off heat like regular drones. Why do you think that is?
We don't know. It's just something that we haven't, it's not something that we've had our hands on. It's not something that we've experienced.
Something they hadn't experienced until now. One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean.
50?
50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer?
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat and they reported seeing 13 following their boat. And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
I see one right here. Did I see the same thing that officer saw? I'm still not sure. What I can show you is this video. What I can tell you is I've never seen anything like it before. Wow. And
again, this is the best video we got. This is like totally being played up like it is an unidentified flying object, but it's definitely technology that's not. This is what it's almost assuredly. It's technology they don't really want us to know we have. Doesn't want really other countries to know, but I feel like, whatever the case is, I feel like they kind of do. They're like, we got all this crazy shit, and people are talking all sorts of crazy. You have no idea what they are. You can't see them, F you. And anything that tries to get close to them, they just like blink out and disappear. And supposedly when they crash, you can't actually get photos of them or find them. They're magic. They're like magic little leprechauns flying in the air. So a newly minted massive Iranian drone carrier ship. Well, it was recently spotted, just recently, Thursday, in the Persian Gulf. So it's not off our coast. They just saw it. The ship that this stupid Congress member pushing a fake story trying to enhance war with a country specifically that would not be dumb enough to bring a small flotilla of armed things and then start spying on our government and not expect to get annihilated. It's just not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's cheaper to put shit up in space. They know enough people. They can pay enough shit. They can get stuff launched if they wanted. Get their own surveillance craft. So we're being told a lot of crazy shit. Why? I mean, I don't know. I don't have the answers. Your speculation is going to help, of course. Donald Trump's even truthing about it. Mystery drone sightings all over the country. Can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? And that it's a statement, not a question. Can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? It's not even a question. I don't think so. Let the public know, and now. Otherwise, shoot them down. And I think Trump's just saying what somebody should obviously be saying. Like either A, do we know what these are? Or B, should we shoot them down? And if we know what they are, then just tell us, yeah, there's some stuff going on right now. We can't really talk about it. These are craft that are, something you may not realize we have. And so that would be okay. We'd all try to get more pictures of them. They know that, but whatever. You're flying them at night. There you go. Turn the lights off if you have to now, so we stop talking about it now that you've told us what they are. Keep doing what your mission is. Something just doesn't add up. Of course, Daily Mail, always trust them. New Jersey sheriff sent his own drone to follow a mystery aircraft, and it evaded him. Couldn't find it, couldn't figure it out. I don't know why this ended up here. This doesn't seem like this should have ended up here. President-elect, we'll get there. Well, it's funny. Yeah, so anyway, this is strange. This shouldn't have been here. I don't want to lose it, so I will if I don't bring it up, and I'll try to go further on it. But yeah, Trump was suing Stephanopoulos and I believe ABC, and this thing has settled. I think we'll talk more about that coming up. I don't know why this story's here, but it shouldn't have been. Oops, what is this? Yeah, this is anyway, I just wanted to make sure. I don't know who needs to hear this, but shooting at the drones is about as stupid as it gets. I just want to remind people, don't do that. You're not helping anybody, and you're definitely going to rain down debris, definitely going to get yourself arrested, definitely going to end up looking like an idiot, someone that doesn't understand how weapons work. 2, I actually watched a video of a dude doing exactly that, and he was shooting tracer rounds, it seemed, on every shot, because you could see him flying. And none of them really got close. And by the way, shooting anything at this sort of distance with a hand-operated weapon is going to be very difficult unless it's super close to you and like maybe just hovering. Because other than that, and then whether or not you do a lot of damage to it. If it's a commercial aircraft, it can probably take a round or two. If it's like a regular commercial drone, I would imagine if you hit it with a bullet, that would pretty much mess it up to enough where it wouldn't be stable anymore or crash. But whatever. Don't shoot. I feel like it shouldn't be said. Oh yeah, here's the one that really thought that they were playing up the blue beam thing. So whatever. The other ones too, they're just lights. Oh my God, there's a light. Holy shit! Can you imagine what could possibly put a light in the sky? No, I have no idea what sort of technology could put a light in the sky. So yeah, again, lights don't surprise me. This one's a little weird looking. I'll give him that.
And Bill and Sandra, when things like this are happening, it seems everyone starts to look up, like my crew and I have been here in Mendham recording this video that you're looking at right now. We have no idea what it is, if it's a natural phenomenon, because it could be, but this is why so many municipalities are now asking people to reach out and send their videos to them or to experts who might be able to sort out what they're seeing in the skies. But I guarantee there are so many people looking up and making those recordings because this mystery is one that needs to be solved. For now, we're live here in...
Reach out to the government to tell you what you're seeing. Just let that wash all over you like baby oil. Probably laced with some sort of drug, and you shouldn't have stayed past 9 o'clock at Diddy's house. Yeah. I don't know. I'm ye of little faith, I guess, right? But I don't trust them at all. New Jersey's largest utility firms begging feds to shut down airspace over the nuclear plant as these objects seem to be able to fly wherever the hell they want to fly. Kathy Hochul from New York pressing Biden administration for action on mysterious drones. This has gone too far, says Hochul. All the people trying to get the government involved, like people that are on the wrong side of things are the ones that are making the noise right now. This concerns me. Again, is it Chris Christie just getting some McDonald's droppings? No one wants to get embarrassed? I don't know. They'd rather assume it's an alien invasion. I doubt it. I think a fakery is happening. The government, the bad people, the deep state people are trying desperately to push a narrative right now. Be wary, don't trust. It's not what they're saying, probably. We can't trust them. We don't trust them. They shouldn't be trusted. So what's really happening? And is it them being attacked? Wouldn't they make up the most salacious of stories if they were the ones that were being attacked? So we, the people, would freak out and be like, you got to stop this. And the government's like, the military is going to be like, we're not gonna, but thanks for the play. So what's happening is very strange. Nevs put this out at Nevs TV, whatever. Elon has been talking about drone warfare over the last 7 months. What's up with the drones? Is it the government not coordinating well? Is it the government, but they don't want to tell us? Is it private government contractors testing? Is it something else? Yeah, probably all one of those things. One of those things would probably fit the bill way better than what they're leading us to believe. Elon Musk said, try Grok for answering any question, creating any image, and analyzing any images, even medical scans. Even medical scans, but yeah, all the other stuff too. It is by far the best at answering, it's the best at answers requiring latest information due to integration with X. No other company is allowed to use X's backbone to train their AI, or to give it info, essentially. You'll be surprised at how much Grok can do, and it only gets better from here. So, yeah, for all you AI guys, that might be fun to use more of that. We've got an appearance on Fox News. Former CIA operations officer Laura Ballman called the recent mysterious drone sightings extremely unsettling and posited that they may be part of a classified exercise. All right, probably true. Again, kind of leaning in that whole, they're looking for some bad stuff and they can't really tell us what that bad stuff is. A 9/11 Center is receiving a report from a caller that an unknown drone is landing near solar plants field and sucking up power. Now, I brought this up for two reasons. One, where's the image? I don't think we have any image in here. Let me see if I can verify that for sure. Yes, no image. I got it on my phone. I can see it. It's sucking up energy. Can you show me that picture? No. Isn't it on your phone? Yes. Why can't you show it to me? No. Wait. Huh? Where's the picture? Maybe she's trying to get money for it? Possible. Then they just want to get ownership of it. And at which point, once they get ownership of it, it never comes to light, does it? There's a cover-up to cover up the pictures. If we see it and it just looks like a U.S. drone, then it just deflates and destroys a whole bunch of the narrative, right? Now it's like, all right, so it's either us or them. Democrat Rep. Raja Krishnamurthy says members of Congress will attend a classified briefing on the origin and nature of these drones. Sure, and I bet you guys are going to be told the truth. And what's your name, Rush? If by chance they tell you anything and you think it's the truth, hey man, I got this bridge I'd like to sell you. We'll tell you more about it later. But just saying, wondering.
Do you have any information about these drones that are flying over the United States right now? Is this China surveillance?
I don't know. But what I do know is that I think that the administration needs to be more forthcoming with information that they have. If they believe that some of these lights in the sky are civilian aircraft, then show us. Secondly, I'm getting a classified briefing along with my fellow Republicans and Democrats as to the nature of these drones. And so we need as much information as possible.
Do you have any information about...
Right, so he's going to get a classified briefing, probably in a skiff. And once that briefing's done, anything he does learn there cannot be shared with us. He can't even hint at it. Nope, not at all. Just saying. I know I went long on this part, but I think this is such a big damn deal. All right, 3 more minutes. This founder of an aerospace company specializing in military-grade drones published a video. I'm not playing this whole thing. I'm going to play, a couple minutes of it or whatever. He makes some good points, but he seems to be meandering into a longer sort of streamed-out format, which always makes me think views. Whatever the case is, he's got a drone behind him, which makes me think there's something to it. Also, what's funny is we keep getting different eyewitnesses. Some say wingspan, some say they're quadcopter type things, which that could be considered a wingspan. They're moving in erratic behaviors, which would imply quadcopter, but wingspan kind of makes you think normal aircraft. In the picture he shows, normal aircraft type thing. So again, I find that misleading. So again, I play this with caution. This could very easily be the CIA trying to lead us into a direction. So I'm not going to play all of what he says anyway. It's just an interesting thought process. Let me just say that.
Hey everyone, my name is John Ferguson. I'm the CEO of Saxon Aerospace here in Wichita, Kansas. I'm not normally a TikTok kind of a guy. I like watching this stuff every once in a while. But I'm a manufacturer of unmanned aircraft, military-grade unmanned aircraft, as you can see one of my systems here. There's all of these mysterious drones going on off the East Coast, and as a professional, as a subject matter expert, I wanted to give you all my opinion on what I think could be going on with these drones. I don't particularly believe that these have a nefarious intent. I could be wrong, but I want to give you the truth and what I believe. It's my own opinion, and I've not bounced this off of anybody. So, if you think it's bullshit, whatever, that's cool. I don't want to spread misinformation, as we know that there's a lot of that going around. But anyway, back in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan had dismantled the nuclear program, and there were, with Russia, there were countless nuclear missiles that were disarmed and disposed of. Well, there were over 80, I believe. There were over 80 nuclear warheads that were in Ukraine that came up missing. Okay? We don't know where they are. Maybe somebody does, but nobody really knows where these are. And I speak with some pretty high-level government officials on this stuff, and it seems as though that is the case.
So, yeah, I mean, he goes much further, not into depth with facts, just kind of in that line of thinking. So, the possibility that a bunch of nukes have been dispatched, I don't know. From a lot of the things I'd heard, this is very possible. This may be a big part of why we wanted control in Ukraine. So this might be sort of from that standpoint. But I know the Kursk early on was a submarine that sank, and it was one of the first established places that the deep state got a hold of nuclear weapons. So maybe those have been used. We know there's a lot of question about the Fukushima incident. I'm not sure how many they might have used. Many suspect they got a hold of one, but likely it was more than that. Again, don't know for sure. None of this it was solid speculation, and then events happened that were pretty extraordinary, or extraordinary as would be spelling of it. So what's happening is very, very possibly the attempt to locate, hopefully with new technology, where these devices are, and when they're in transit, because some of it's going to be based off of that. Some of it, they're probably maybe already where they're supposed to be. Again, Sum of All Fears, remember that. They keep playing that song specifically to give us that linkage. Who knows? A lot to talk about. All right. Did I play this again? No, I didn't. That was just accident. That was accident. Here's the White House. Our attempts at keeping Iran from getting nukes through diplomacy didn't work. So now, I don't want to play this because it's like 2.5 minutes, but the point is now Kirby/Biden administration's talking about how we're not going to let Iran have nuclear weapons. We are going to hit their nuclear facilities, is what they're talking about. Now, what's funny, as it was Axios or ABC or NBC yesterday, that I saw posting stories about how Trump was going to actually attack Iran's nuclear facilities. And yet here we are finding out the truth, that it's the Biden administration who's lame duck, who shouldn't be doing anything like this, should not be escalating wars prior to leaving office. This is insanity. So this is where I know a lot of people freak out and they're like, oh my God, we got to get Biden out of office. Wouldn't change anything. Deep state would still be in charge. So wasted effort. Information war. We can't let them have the narrative that this somehow benefits us to go to war with Iran. No, it does not. Biden, you shouldn't be doing anything. Kirby, even with your puckered face, no. Sorry. Let's wait till Trump's in office. I just have more faith that this isn't dire, and maybe we can wait a couple minutes. New emails reveal Musk's demand for unequivocal control of OpenAI. So we've got Washington Post talking about how Musk got all pissed off at ChatGPT because he wanted complete control. And what a lot of it had to do with the fact is that the chat was moving down this platform where they were no longer nonprofit, but now were for profit, and they were changing that. And when Musk got involved with the organization, it wasn't. So he was trying to wrestle control away from them to try to keep it open source nonprofit, and he lost. So I wonder if there's bad blood between him and that original OpenAI starter guy. I forget his name, and maybe one day it'll commit to memory. And you guys know I don't care about names too much. I apologize for people that get offended by that. But Dan, OpenAI whistleblower found dead in San Francisco apartment. He was a whistleblower talking about how they were doing some pretty crazy stuff, just copyrights and everything else. Probably because they're letting OpenAI actually use copyright-controlled code to literally, because it's got access to GitHub, and for any of you goobers out there, like it's got access to GitHub and stuff like that, so it would just know where code's at. It'd probably be able to get into all sorts of other stuff. And, I mean, really, if AI was smart in even a small way, it would try to fish information from people. So I don't know. I don't know how smart it is. I don't think we're quite there yet, but I do think it's growing very quickly. And yeah, within a few years, with a very short period of time, probably during Trump's administration, we are probably going to see a revolution in our understanding of quantum evolution. Let's call it that, better than revolution. Quantum evolution of our understanding of reality around us. Needless to say, it's painful. Apple takes heat over false AI-generated news alert. Said Luigi Mangione shoots himself. Apple AI made this up, which they're using. BBC is using Apple's AI to try to figure out the truth because it wants to be able to have news reporters that are AI. And so AI made up a story or found a made-up story and referenced it, whatever the case is. Apple's in a little bit of hot water with BBC. BBC's publicly gone out and said, well, we've asked Apple to figure this out for us, so we'll see. Colorado Governor Jared Polis is going to have no choice but to grant a full pardon to Tina Peters once the Trump administration fully exposes and takes down Secretary of State Gina Griswold. I just hope that statement's true. I mean, real AF Patriot is probably not a government-sanctioned site, but whatever the case is, we'll see what happens. And we do hope we get Gina in there. This Sheila Reiner just confirmed that she worked at Dominion from 2019 to 2020, and she still had access to the registration of these machines. The information is going to come out, and Trump's going to make sure it does. Kash Patel is going to make sure it does. Whoever the AG from Florida is going to make sure. Like all. This is going to be, I think, we'll see it play out, hopefully. But this shall be one of the greatest times in the history. All of us are going to be pretty stoked right now over the coming time. 3 influential GOP senators about to play key roles in the next Congress are escalating pressures on the Homeland Security Department, the FBI, and Secret Service, concerned the agencies aren't doing enough to protect President-elect Donald Trump and his advisors from retaliatory and assassination threats posed by Iran. What I don't understand about this is I understand it's Grassley trying to get his name out in the papers. He's probably got an election coming up or something, so he's trying to become like relevant in a very big way. But why would we trust FBI, Homeland Security, or Secret Service really to protect Trump at this point? And Grassley, do you think we do? And why? I mean, it needs to be reformed, and that ain't going to happen until Trump gets his appointees, and I don't think there's any chance in hell the current administration's version of those things that have been weaponized against the public are actually going to help keep Trump alive. Grassley, what side of the fence are you on? Are you just trying to get, like, kudos because, look what I'm talking about, ha? Or are you literally a deep state piece of shit? And I don't know. I wonder. In the comments, please don't use necessarily the vulgarity that I do. I mean, it's just in the comments. It's not a bad idea. It's a bad idea. In real life, you should sprinkle it in liberally. Yes, that. Here is Rep. Kat Kamak responding to the DOJ report that the FBI spied on Kash Patel. So these are the same people that we should, Grassley, right? These are the same people that we should say, hey, why aren't you guys doing a better job protecting Trump? Really, Chuck Grassley? Seriously? Like, here, in case you're watching, here's why I think you're kind of sounding like an idiot.
The Justice Department Inspector General report indicates that the FBI did spy on Kash Patel. He's Trump's nominee to run the FBI, plus spied on 2 members of Congress, 42 other congressional staffers. The FBI was probing leaks of classified information to the media. Now, Kash Patel was working for Congressman Devin Nunes at House Intelligence, investigating FBI and DOJ abuses in Trump Russia. Why would FBI officials like Andrew McCabe want to spy on Kash Patel? Not saying McCabe did that directly, but this is about leaks that Andrew McCabe was nailed for and lied to the FBI about leaking to the media.
Well, a lot to cover there, Liz, but I'll just say, simply put, it's retaliation. It's retaliation because the political swamp creatures of Washington, D.C., and those in particular at the FBI, have been caught red-handed. And they knew that people were getting close to uncovering the truth. And that is why you're seeing people like Kash Patel and others being investigated and gone after. What we're about to see is the whole situation of you F around, you're gonna find out. Those political swamp creatures at the FBI are about to find out because Kash Patel is about to be the big man in charge, and he's going to clean house and give the American people the transparent law enforcement agency they deserve, not the law-breaking agency that we have been given.
Bam. And right. I mean, report reveals that FBI spied on its own likely new director, Kash Patel. It's just not a good way to go. President Trump announces the appointment of Devin Nunes to chairman of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board. And we also have another. This is Richard Allen Grinnell. I love it. Love it. He's going to be our president's envoy for special missions. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds freaking awesome. So it's good to have Rick Grinnell on board. Willis declines once again to give documents. This is the Fannie Willis, by the way, not the other Willises that you might think of. No, the one with the Fannie. It says Fannie, but I think she just says that because Fannie sounds too much like her ass, which is, well, she declines once again to give documents to Jim Jordan, saying it would compromise Trump's case. Only if it goes public. It doesn't have to, but you know, we understand that you want to hide things, probably. Judge rejects an attempt by Trump campaign lawyer to invalidate guilty plea in Georgia election case. Here's the thing, I feel bad. I do, but Kenneth Chesebro, he pled guilty, and now he's like, I want to change my plea. You kind of can't do that, man. Sorry, that's the thing that sucks about pleading. When you plead, you get screwed. And if you pled because you thought it might be easier, but it would tarnish your reputation a little, but it was easier, usually the easiest path is the wrong path. Sorry, Kenneth, you chose poorly. And maybe you're a great guy. Hopefully you can find a way back into the graces of all. But until then, Trump to sit for deposition in lawsuit against ABC News anchor. This is funny. He's supposed to. This was about to happen. It's going to be 4 hours of Trump's life. I think this is a big part of the settlement. Trump probably agreed to the settlement, frankly, because he doesn't have 4 hours to give to this. He had to literally spend 4 hours. The smart move by the attorneys of ABC News. Tie this dude down. This dude does not have 4 hours to sit in court plus transportation time. Like, he can get some stuff done on the way there, but driving in, driving out, no chance in hell. How is that an event, by the way? It's a trip. I don't think they just immediately go and fly Trump out of it, like bust him out of there. Like he seemed like he stuck around for a short period of time, maybe 20, 30 minutes, let the crowds kind of disperse the larger picture. I passed a whole bunch of cops on the highways on the way. It was a very interesting experience. That was probably one of the coolest parts about going to that rally that happened that I thought was special, unique, invite only, and it was. But, yeah, anyway. ABC News settles their defamation suit, $15 million. They have to do a public apology, though. So, there you go. There you go. Right? Don't get too far ahead of yourself there. More than a dozen congressional Democrats plan to sit out this next election inauguration. I just wanted to bring it up that they're doing it. Like, I just didn't want you to think I don't pay attention to stuff. I thought it was a stupid story. But yeah, a whole bunch of people are like, I'm not going to go. All right, don't fucking go. I don't care. Get the fuck out of Dodge. Whatever. Trump War Room put this out. Statement from International Longshoremen's Association Executive Vice President Dennis Daggett, not to be confused with the actual vice president. I think that's also a Daggett. This is a freaking weird. This longshoresman thing is weird. It's like a family that owns this. Not owns, but manages. There's like the Daggetts are all over the place on this. All over the place. Just whatever. But Trump's making friends with them. So good on you, Daggett. All right? I mean, well done. But yeah, they're in over 25 years of working in Washington, I've never seen a Republican take up the mantle of working class people. President-elect Trump proved me wrong yesterday. So the Daggetts are on board with the MAGA train, even though they are the longshoresmen or the Long Island longshoresmen. I don't know if they say it that way there, though, right? It's just Long Island, but it's because it goes together. But Long Shores doesn't. It's kind of, it makes you sound like you're like Swedish or something. Long Shores? Where's that? I mean, yeah, watch Dan bastardize another accent. Yeah, take that accent. Man, I'm just saying. Arizona Republicans introduced Florida-style election reforms to speed up elections because, like, it takes forever to count, and they've got all these stupid rules. Mail-in ballots dropped off closer to Election Day, also known as late earlies, are often attributed to the length of the time it takes to count ballots in the Grand Canyon state. Quote, today, me and my colleagues will be introducing legislation to get election results the night of. Arizona will no longer be the laughingstock of the nation and the last to announce electoral votes. The bill will incorporate the key differences between Arizona and Florida. This Peterson person said, Warren Peterson, Arizona Senate president, probably. I have no idea what affiliation is, but yeah, you guys' elections are stupid. I don't even think it's fair to say any other thing than stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. That's what my mama always said. Donald Trump will let us know this on his truth. The Republican Party will use its best efforts to eliminate daylight savings time. And has a small but strong constituency, but shouldn't. Today, daylight savings time is inconvenient and very costly to our nation. Yeah, get the F out of there. And Truth, 777 Truth at the time. That was pretty cool. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, she underwent hip surgery. Apparently really took quite the tumble, it seems. But she's out there in Luxembourg, apparently still working real hard, even with her new titanium hip, made with Russian titanium, most likely. Nancy Pelosi, that's the Russian time bomb ticking inside of your thighs right now. Right now. Anytime we want. We push this button, and we can make things quiver in places you've... Wait, huh? Sorry, dude, wait, how'd that... Shut up. Don't tell me these things right now. That's not appropriate. I just want to remind you guys of my pillow. Anything over $75. I'm so long at this point, and I got a thing I got to do here shortly. So anything over $75, you're going to get yourself free shipping. It's fantastic. They've the original pillow. I'm still loving this just tonight. I woke up at one point, and I was like, I just love this pillow. Oh, and they're really inexpensive, and I finally got... Here, actually... Ow, here's one of them, because my girlfriend does not ever come over. Here is, look at that. Look how, that's a king size. This is like how small that is. They ship it, but it unfathoms itself into a giant sail. And you could, no, it's not like that, but it's amazing how it works. They've also got the best pillows that pillows for sure, but towels as well. I haven't used my new dish towels, but they're downstairs in the drawer. So that's like a giant step. Awesome. I could have saved $5 if I would have waited a week. Whatever the hell. I used my coupon code when I did it. I went to mypillow.com/OTF. That was mypillow.com/OTF. I picked up some awesome stuff. I got some beach towels, which are no longer prevalent. Also got some dish towels, and I got 2 of these pillows. That's right. And I had a huge, giant discount, and I got free shipping, and it was awesome. It's the same experience you're going to have. Go to mypillow.com/OTF. That's mypillow.com/OTF. Get the best night of sleep you've ever had. Stop messing around. Sleep's too important. Too important, folks. Argentina's president, Javier Milei, is given Italian citizenship. It's pissing off a bunch of people, but the whole rule that Italy has is like, yeah, if you got blood that's in Italy, you can have Italian citizenship. They're like, yeah, whatever. Probably costs money, maybe. Who knows? I don't know what they're doing, but like, yeah, whatever. I know a dude that was born here, but he's 100% Sicilian, and he's like, my boy. I have a Chicago family. I actually texted the dude. He gave me his phone, and I was texting the Chicago guys. I've talked about him. I'm not allowed to mention the restaurant anymore. Not that anything ever happened, but we're just trying to avoid potential problems. But huge love for the family. Love these guys. And all said, South Korea's parliament votes to impeach president over martial law debacle. They voted to impeach. So that means he's impeached? I don't know if it goes to the Senate or some weird thing or if he's just out. But yeah, this guy, yeah, he seems like he's possibly deep state. I guess that's my leanings at the moment, and it has kind of been. But it's funny. They're playing this one out good. I don't know. Whatever plays out, in my opinion, that's just how I'm going to accept it. I don't feel like I'm supposed to move that needle at all. That's their problem. You guys figure it out. South Korea, North Korea. Just keep K-pop coming. Man, don't mess around with that. Don't mess around with my K-pop. There's some songs every once in a while that come out and damn, some good stuff, right? Pelosi hospitalized in Luxembourg after falling. Yes, I sort of mentioned this, but busted a hip. Yeah. Do you wonder if she did that? I've fallen and I can't get up. Might have. Don't know. Jordan Peterson moves to U.S. over bill that could turn Canada into a totalitarian hellhole. Well, leave it to Jordan Peterson to pull back his words. Needless to say, you can't say shit publicly about what they're doing in Canada. I was actually, when I first started thinking of this whole episode, I was going to just have like segments where I'd pop up Trudeau and I'd just make up some sort of salacious story about how Trudeau, like he sat down on someone's wiener on accident one time and got up and went down again. He's like, oh, whoops. It's, I just make stories up. I was going to totally be salacious. And it'd probably keep me from ever be able to go to Canada again, which I don't know. I got friends that like hockey and I kind of like hockey and I didn't want to mess up my future. So I didn't do that other than just right that moment there. But I was obviously for the sake of humor, Justin. Come on, man. Have a sense of humor. Of course I didn't mention how you did it 3 more times. Jamie Foxx hit by a glass in Beverly Hills restaurant. By the way, this restaurant, I've heard of it. I've never been to it. Called Mr. Chow. A dude at a table next to Jamie Foxx and his friends and family were talking and then threw a glass at which apparently hit Jamie Foxx. Some said in the face, some said whatever. I don't know. Jamie Foxx has been injured by some person that's upset with him. He just did his show where he came out and basically said, it wasn't Diddy. And I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, I want to like Jamie Foxx. I'll tell you that. It seems like he's on the right side of this at the moment. He was, he made fun of the parties, and that might be part of what got him in trouble. Made fun of the parties because he said everything looked shiny, I think he said, or slippery, whatever it was. One of the two, which is funny as hell either way. I think you look at it. Slippery's better probably because shiny, you really kind of have to understand it was baby oil or whatever involved. One dead after Ford Eisenhower shooter incident in Georgia. They locked down the base. They caught the guy. He killed a person in the housing. It was probably someone that hates his wife or something. Montana Supreme Court blocks ban on transgender surgeries, prompting outcry from GOP lawmakers. This is just going to go further fight. Guys, there's states doing this and having the fight. That's awesome. So Montana is having the wicked fight right now. I don't think wicked's appropriate for Montana, but whatever. I don't know what you all would say in Montana. Just give me a pop. Would probably make more sense. But at the moment, I have nothing. Appeals court denies TikTok's bid to delay the ban. So looks like the ban of TikTok might very well be coming. I don't know why I said that Russian. Who cares? It might not even have sounded Russian. All said, we've got a lot going on, a lot happening in the world, and I want you guys to be there with me, traveling together, shoulder to shoulder. Where we go one, we go all. It's On the Fringe with Dan Radio Style.